Hello guys, this is Vysh. So a new playlist is being started today, which is Economics NCERT, which has been huge demand done by students. And we have done already, like I myself have done history, geography, and polity is ongoing. And now economics I'm starting. Actually, another teacher was supposed to do it, but then because the request came, I had to do it myself. And when he wanted me to teach it, I am just trying myself. Okay, so if it's good or bad, whatever it is, I want your comments so that I can think whether I should continue this myself or give it to somebody else. Okay, so please do that. And we are trying to become India's biggest free UPSC channel, and that is why more than 1,000, I think 250 videos are already there, and it will cross that and it will reach nearly 2,000 to 3,000 in the coming 2 months, because that many things are planned. Okay, that many teachers are working together, everybody are trying to give you free content. So when we put this day and night effort, see to it that you support us through likes and comments. Okay, and one thing I'll tell you, there are two different things which we offer. One is the free classes on YouTube, and then there is the paid test series. Okay, so those who have done this together over the years, all these people have cleared the prelims year by year. Okay, last year also many cleared, like last week many of our students have given mains also. Hope many of them clear the mains exam. So this thing, okay, paid test series, we have launched batch 1, we have launched batch 2, and then batch 3 now. Okay, so you people, most of you see this, and when you ignore it and then later come and ask like as if you have never heard about it, that's a very bad sign of a student. Okay, if you want to join, you join. If you want to ignore, you ignore. But after seeing it, then ignoring it, and then coming in again asking like, so do you actually give any test series? Is it paid? Like, what is the process? What is this thing? These videos are put out transparently every 2 months. Okay, like new batches are launched every 2 months. So now 8 months is left for the prelims, and after this, if you wait for a fourth batch, it will be very late for you. Okay, I'm telling 2023 students. Others, it's okay. Others, you need not join any paid classes. You just paid test series. You just have to watch my free videos as of now and watch the foundation which I give you in WhatsApp. So please see to it that if you're a 2023 aspirant, this 230-day timetable, day by day guidance is starting tomorrow. You have to start reading NCERT from tomorrow, and after 8-10 days, I'll give you the test based on that. So this is a process which goes day by day. So if you join late, right, you are going to suffer. So please see to it that you are joining this batch if you are serious about the exam. Okay, so this is one thing which I wanted to tell you. Okay, now in this textbook chapter, class 9th, okay, class 6, 7, 8 and all is not required, and now it's not there in the this thing also, in the NCERT website also. Earlier there used to exist a class 6, 7, 8 textbook of economics specifically, which is a very like childish kind of thing, and it's nowhere related to UPSC. Okay, even class 9th, this is very basic. If you see story of village Palampur is about the factors of production and basic things. Then people as a resource, which is the human resource, is a continuation of the chapter 1. Then poverty, and then food security. Okay, which two major things in GS1. Every year one question in mains exam comes. Okay, so this is just 40 pages. If you see, you can complete in half a day, but still in the video format with little bit inputs and UPSC questions and all, I'll show you, so that becomes very interesting for you to study. Okay, because you know, whenever I do a video series, it will be very detailed. Okay, you can watch any NCERT or any video which is done of a subject in other channel and compare it with how I teach. You will understand the difference. Okay, so see to it that you are watching till the end, and please like and comment. Okay, your like, comment, subscription is what decides whether we will do the next lecture. Okay, we always keep a criteria. We just need 100 likes and 100 comments. Okay, if you see unwanted other teachers and motivational channels and these teachers, this small clips which you see, okay, like I don't want to name certain teachers, but I have never seen a lecture by them. Okay, I've just seen this big Mahabharata Ramayana stories or some philosophy videos which they do, and there will be millions of comments by UPSC aspirants. Okay, so I don't think any of those aspirants are going to clear the exam also, because they are just forcing this fake motivation by these people. They are not studying the basic books. They are not studying what is needed for UPSC. They are wasting year after year. Okay, because these people are running their business by making fan pages and like what is it, this teacher's army, this teacher's band, this teacher's that thing. They are making groups after groups in WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, and then actually fooling you people. If you are serious about the exam, please study the basic textbooks which we are trying to do. Okay, now polity, which I started, if you see 1.3k views for first chapter, then 681, then 520, and then 278. Okay, so if this is the level of viewership, then you itself think, when we are doing this much effort, will we feel like doing the next chapter for you? If you don't view it, if you don't like it, if you don't comment it, we are not asking for a fees, we are not asking for a subscription charge, we are just asking you, please watch it for free and hit the like and comment. So now itself, okay, by this time you would have realized, or you know how we teach, or I teach at least. Please hit that like button. Okay, now itself, and in between the video or when the video is ended, please put a comment also. That can be the answer of the questions which I ask, or it can be just a thumbs up. It can be like, I did not like this video, I like this video, I want you to make this improvement, or anything. Put one comment. Okay, please respond so that I feel like doing the next chapter for you, else the frequency of videos will reduce. Okay, last 2 weeks I was waiting for the response, but these videos have not got the response which I wanted. So please see to it that you are liking and commenting. Okay, So I'll show you 3 UPSC questions which cannot be directly answered from this chapter but are related to this chapter. Okay. So which of the following activities constitute real sector? Okay. So this is 2022 question for which answer key has not yet come, and it will come next year. So what is the answer? You have to tell me in comment section. Okay. We will anyway do a different playlist where we discuss 2022 questions, but you have to tell me, like farmers harvesting their crops, textile mills, then commercial bank, then corporate body. This they are telling which of the following comes under real sector. Okay. So we know, you know, there is primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Then there's banking sector, non-banking sector, many things you would have studied, but real sector means what? Okay, this is where UPSC traps you. UPSC will not ask something which you directly find in the textbook. You have to infer something or you have to conclude something. So that is the skill of an aspirant who practice questions from good test series like Vysh IAS and all. Okay, now which of the following factors, policies were affecting the price of rice in India in the recent past? Okay, so support price, government's trading, government stockpiling, or the consumer subsidies, which can control or change the or affect the price. Okay, effect can be positive or negative. That is the 2020 question. Okay, now 2013 a question came, which of the following can directly give credit assistance to rural household? Okay, so it's not like credit assistance, like direct. Okay, that is where the key is. So regional rural bank, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, that is NABARD, then Land Development Bank. About all these separate questions also have come, and in my test series also separate questions are there, separate notes are there for all these banks. Okay, so if you have done my test series, this is a very simple question and you can answer. Okay, you just have to eliminate one and you will get an answer. So these are the 3 questions I want to tell you in comment section. At the end of this video, I'll again show you this question so you remember to comment. Okay, then again, when you come to WhatsApp and ask like, sir, can you teach me history? Can you teach me geography? Please at least have the basic courtesy to go and type it in YouTube once. Okay, type the keyword Vysh IAS, and then after that type whichever subject you want. Okay, NCERT class 6 or geography class 7 or Lakshmikant new edition or ancient history, medieval history, art and culture, fine arts, Nithin, Singhania, environment, anything you search, one playlist will come in Vysh IAS. That is why we are the biggest free channel in this country now. Okay, UPSC free channel. So again, more and more videos will come. If you support at least 2,000 to 3,000 videos I'm planning in the next 3 months, that is before this year end. So please see to it that you support. I will see to it that you get the quality content. Okay, so now all these things, if you have watched, it's good for you. If you have not watched, at least start today. Okay, in English and Hindi, many are there, and some of the lectures maybe you are not liking, or some are like pending, or some are incomplete. That's incomplete because your response was poor. So go and comment like what is the reason you are not watching now, or what is the reason you missed it. Then we will see to it whether we have to continue or we have to make some changes. Everything we will do based on your comments. Okay, previous year question already, these 5 years I've done, more years I'll be doing in the coming days. Okay, now this chapter name you would have seen like the story of village Palampur. Okay, so Palampur is actually, if you see, there is a place in Himachal Pradesh, but this is not what the author is referring to. Okay, it is a hypothetical village which actually there is an economist which is Switzerland based, Gilbert Etienne. So this person actually in Uttar Pradesh, okay, western Uttar Pradesh, there is this Bulandshahr one place is there. So that he observed, and based on that he wrote the story, but he decided to name a hypothetical name called Palampur. Okay, so it has no connection with this place. If you are in Himachal and if this is your place, this has no connection with this place. Okay, just a hypothetical name he gave for a village based in UP, the lifestyle based in UP village. Okay, and that applies to most of the villages also. Okay, and little details about him I put here so you can read about him. It's not very important, but I'm telling you general GK. So this place, like he's telling, farming is the main activity. Several other activities are also there, like small scale, manufacturing, dairy, transport, and then everything, but on a limited scale. And there will be other types of resources like natural resources, man-made resources, human effort, money. All these activities are involved in making the different activities happen. Now, how various resources combine to produce the desired goods and services in the village is what they discuss. Meaning the basic of economics, they are trying to discuss through a hypothetical village and how there are people living there. Okay, so now Palampur is a well-connected village with all the neighboring villages and town. Okay, it's not like any isolated one and all. It is connected with all the villages and town, and they are telling there is a faraway village which is 3 kilometers away, which is Raiganj. Okay, so there is a village here and there is a well-connected kind of bigger village here. Okay, and they are well connected by roads. So in this roads, now they will take you to a small town called Shahpur also. Why I'm telling all this basic story type is so that you understand later when they tell some give and take or some trade or something happens between each place, you will be able to relate. That is why it's written as story based. Okay, so that 9th standard students also understand. So now many kinds of transport are visible. If you see the bullock carts or the trucks or the tongas or the boggy, everything is there. Even motor vehicles like motorcycle, jeep, tractors, everything is running through these roads, and some are carrying this jaggery, which is gur, which you get from sugarcane. This is also being transported from the village to the bigger villages. Okay, there are more than 450 families and there are different castes. So there is caste system also in this village. Okay, so 80 upper caste families is there. They have majority of land in the village also. They live in big houses, okay, which are made of bricks and all, like you see here in picture. Big houses is there. So the other side, the 1/3 of the population is the SC community or the Dalit community, who live in another corner of the village, and they have much smaller houses made of mud and straw. Okay, like this. Now, most of the houses have electric connections. Electricity powers all the tube wells in the field and is used in various types of small businesses. Okay, so there are primary schools, there are high schools, there are government-run hospitals. Hospital means primary health center. Okay, primary health center is the smallest unit of hospital, you can tell. Then one private one is also there. Private dispensary is there. Then with all this, what you understand, it's a fairly well-developed kind of village with system of road, transport, electricity, everything is there. It's not a very poor or isolated village. It's a well-developed, proper village which you can bring in any schemes and implement and even make it like a town. Okay, so now farming is the main production activity there, and other things, as I told, manufacturing, shopkeeping, transport, all these things are also there. So now this is the village story. Now in economics term, we'll see the production or the factors or the different economical terms we'll see. Okay, so aim of production is what? It is to produce goods and services which we want. Now to make that, we need some requirements. So basically 4 requirements are there, and in economics term we called it factors of production. Okay, factors of production is required for producing goods and services. So the first requirement or the first factor is land. Okay, and land includes what? All the natural resources such as water, forest, minerals, all these comes under land. Okay. Second one is labor, meaning we need people to work at these places, people who will do the work. So some production activity will require high educated workers also, okay, so that they can perform certain tasks, or others require just manual work. Okay, Manrega workers, which we have in different schemes and all, people work in like digging and other things are there. Okay, and each worker is providing the labor necessary for production. Now third one is capital. So land, labor, capital, but what capital? Physical capital. So physical capital has 2 things under it: fixed capital and working capital. So what is these two also? I will tell you. Okay, there is a variety of inputs required at various stages during the production. Okay, we have land, we have labor. Now to work there, we need capital. That is, one is the fixed capital, which is the tools, machines, buildings and all, which can be very small like farmers' plow, or maybe sophisticated machines like generator, turbines and computers also. So these are called fixed capital because it's fixed, and over the years it will like wear and tear will happen, and it is used for a longer time. Okay. Now raw materials and the money which we use to buy this or other things, that is the working capital. Okay, so production requires a variety of raw materials, like yarn is used by the weaver, clay is used by the potter. Okay, and some money is always required during production to make payments, to buy some items. Then raw materials and money together are called the working capital. So this working plus fixed capital is called the physical capital. So land, labor, physical capital. And now we have the fourth one, which is human capital. Okay, human capital. So this one is like the human knowledge, about which also a UPSC question came very recently. Very good question came, prelims one. I'll show you in the next episode. So it's also called like enterprise also sometimes. They put together this land, labor and physical capital and produce an output either to use yourself or to sell in the market. Okay, so in this chapter actually land, labor and fixed capital is discussed, and next chapter will be human capital in specific. Okay, so the 4 factors of production are land, labor, capital, enterprise. Enterprise means human capital. Capital, this one means physical capital, which has fixed capital and working capital. That is the tools and machinery, and the ones which will be used up, like the money and raw material. Okay, one is not used up fully and one is used up. Okay, that is how it is divided. So this is the basic starting factors of production. Now we come back to the village. Okay, everything will go like this: village and then theory, village and then theory. So farming in Palampur. So Palampur, you know, land, labor, capital. We'll just try to what we studied in economics now, that we'll try to put in this village. Okay, so first is land. In land, 4 things are there. Land, you know, it is fixed. You have this much acres of land, means you cannot do anything. You cannot increase the land now. Okay, so what you will do? You will increase the cultivation in some in the same land by some methods. Okay, that we'll study. Then if we do like that, will the land sustain? Okay, or will you destroy that land? Then how is the land distribution in Palampur happening, and what is the things going on? So these 4 things in 4 different slides we'll study now. Okay, so land is fixed. First point, land is fixed. Farming is the main production, you know. 75% of the people who are working are dependent on farming for their livelihood. Okay, 75% people. So you know how land is important now. So they could be farmers or farm laborers. Okay, the well-being of these people is closely related to the production on the farms. If there's no production, they will all suffer. Okay, so the basic constraint always is the land area. since 1960 in Palampur, there has been no expansion in land area under cultivation. Okay, there will be some wasteland and all which they converted, but after that there is nothing else left to convert to cultivable land. Okay, so that is the one big constraint which they have. Land is fixed. Okay, there is no scope of bringing more land into cultivation. Now, just like a GK fact, they are using different units. Okay, like hectare. Okay, hectare is something which they use, or acre is something which they use to measure the land. Okay, like this much acre land is there, this much hectare land is there. Okay, depends on how big a farmer you are. But in local units and all, instead of hectare and acre, you would see like this biga, gunta and all. So this picture I'll show you. This, if you see hectare, how you measure hectare is like 100 into 100, meaning 100 meters. Suppose there is a square, 100 into 100, what is the area? 10,000 meters square. So this is called 1 hectare or 100 acres. Okay, just a GK I am telling you, it's not much relevant, but for CSAT and all, maybe for calculation you will need. So 1 hectare is equal to 100 acre, 100 acres, and this is 10,000 meters square. Okay, not acre, acres. So now in south states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, you go, they will use cent. Okay, if you go to eastern states like Orissa, Andhra and all, they will use this gunta. Okay, and if you go to other urban areas, it will be square yards and square meters or square feet. And gajam you will see in North India. Based on your state, you can tell in comment section also what you use. Like suppose you want to buy a house or a property or a land, like how do you calculate? You tell like I need 100 cent of land or 100 gunt of land. What do you tell in your state? You can tell me in comment section which state you are from and what is the unit of land. Okay, so it will be interesting to see if you people actually comment and tell me. I can see like different units being used in your area. Okay, so this is basic things about that. Now if you see, the cultivable area in India keeps increasing. 1950s it was 132 million hectares, and it is increasing up to 200 as of 2016. Okay, in NCERT this is what is mentioned. So here if you see an interesting thing, there is something called a pocket book of agriculture statistics, which is by Directorate of Economics and Statistics under Department of Agriculture. Generally, if I ask you a question like Director of Economic and Statistics and comes under which ministry, you will either think it is under Ministry of Finance or you will think it's under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. But it is actually under Ministry of Agriculture. Okay, so this kind of very silly things in boxes of NCERT we tend to ignore. And UPSC will catch exactly this thing, and any year they will disturb you and ask, and we will think like, from where did they ask this question? They're asking you from basic NCERT, which we chose to ignore. Okay, this is the only reason I'm doing NCERT, because from these boxes nowadays questions are coming. Now, all land is cultivated in Palampur and no land is left idle. And during rainy season, now there's the next concept, the Kharif and Rabi crops. Kharif crop example, UPSC have already asked recently. So, Jowar and Bajra are Kharif crops, and these plants are also used as cattle feed. Okay, it is followed by cultivation of potato between October and December. Okay, so rainy season, Kharif, this is done. After that, before the winter, in that gap, this is done. For this also there is a name. If you know, tell in comment section what is the name of this kind of crops which can be grown between the rainy season and the winter season. Okay, like winter again, Rabi season will come where you will grow wheat. Okay, so there is a Kharif season, there is a Rabi season. In between you are growing this potato. What is the name of such kind of crops? Okay, tell me in comment section. So they do this, and if you see market at Raiganj, that bigger village, they will make it, they will use it for their family, and the surplus they will sell it to the bigger village. This is how the Palampur people are living. Okay, and also a part of the land area is devoted to sugarcane. Okay, which is harvested once every year. 2022 there was a very nice question where answer was sugarcane. Okay, so that try to find out. It's a very interesting question, and many coaching institutes were debating, even though it's a very easy question also. So that try to find out which is that question. Okay, answer is sugarcane for that. So now, sugarcane in its raw form or as jaggery is sold to the traders in Shahpur. Shahpur is that town which is connected to Palampur. Okay. Now the main reason why farmers are able to grow 3 different crops in a year in Palampur is due to the well-developed system of irrigation. So irrigation is again one important topic in GS 1 and 2 which UPSC keeps asking. Okay. So now electricity came early to Palampur, and that its major impact was to transform the system of irrigation. Whenever irrigation is good, okay, they will have a very good agriculture system also. Okay, they don't need to depend on the rain. So earlier, when there was no electricity, this Persian wheel, about which again UPSC in history a question was asked already. Persian wheels were used. Okay, what you see in picture. So now when irrigation has come, people are using electricity has come, electric run tube wells which could irrigate much larger area. Okay, more effectively also. So first government used to install it. Later the private types also is to coming. And now if you see, the subsidies are there, different schemes are there, solar pumps are there, many things. The Kusum scheme, what is Kusum scheme? Go and try to find out, you will see. Okay, so like this, many schemes and many things are there which government is introducing. And so the agriculture actually, which government is promising that they will double the farmers' income, is actually happening. Okay, so that you will not realize. Okay, if you see just the media and this unwanted news debates and all, you will not understand. But if you really see the statistics of how things work, you read the economic survey, you watch very genuine neutral channels and all, you will understand how the lives of people are changing, not just farmers, everyone. But it will take like a gradual growth only. So this is how irrigation is changing lives. Now, not all villages in India have very high levels of irrigation. Okay, in coastal areas, in riverine plains and all, it will be good, well irrigated. But in the Deccan Plateau, where you see the Rayalaseema region and there are many other regions, Bundelkhand region, everywhere, there are problem. Okay, so their irrigations are problem, and so they will have like 40% is irrigated. It depends. Okay, these numbers, don't believe the numbers and all. It will keep changing, but it is very low. Okay, and there are many places where they depend only on the rainfall, only on the monsoon. So whenever you see, you would have seen news like monsoon is bad, so agriculture is bad. Monsoon is good, there is overproduction. So it depends totally on the rainfall. Okay, it's not on the irrigation. Okay, so there are many other factors also. Our green revolution concept and all I will teach you in the next slide. So there are many things. So irrigation is a very important thing. Okay, now as I told, land is fixed. So what is the next point? Increasing production from the same land. The second point which I told you, we'll discuss now. So what is the method? One is multiple cropping, meaning to grow more than one crop on a piece of land during an year. Meaning you grow rice also, you grow potato also, you grow that also, like multiple cropping. Okay, there is different concept, intercropping, crop rotation, many things are there, permaculture, all these things. UPSC questions also coming, and I have already taught you. Simply search Vysh IAS Economics playlist. Another playlist will come where I was discussing Ramesh Singh textbook. There I have already taught you all the agricultural things already. Okay, but here in this textbook they are just telling about multiple cropping, that is different crops in a land during a year. Now this is the most common way of increasing production on a given piece of land. All the farmers in Palampur grow at least two main crops, and also potato as the third crop is happening in the last 20 years. Then this is one method. Okay, another thing is modern farming method. In the same land, if you need to increase your production, you have to go for modern farming method, which is as part of Green Revolution. You would have seen this HYV, that is high yield variety seeds, then fertilizers, pesticides, dams, electricity, pump set, canal, diesel, all these things, machinery comes together. Then it is called modern farming techniques. Okay, it's not a traditional way, it is modern farm. So what is a yield? Yield is measured as crop produced on a given piece of land during a single season. Okay, so that is yield. So high yield variety, that is HYV seeds are there, which will give double returns or more returns than normal traditional seeds. So now till mid 1960s, the seeds used in cultivation were traditional one with low yield. So they need lesser irrigation also. Then farmers use these natural fertilizers, cow dung and all. All these were readily available to farmers who did not have to buy them. There was no expenses that time. Then came the Green Revolution, about which again, as I told, go and search my Ramesh Singh playlist. I have already taught you this in detail. Okay, in the 1960s, they came with this concept of high yield variety HYV seeds for wheat and rice, and compared to traditional seeds, they promised to produce greater amount of grain on a single plant. Okay, so same piece of land would now produce larger quantity of food grain. Okay, but problem is they need plenty of water, they need plenty of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, everything. Okay, so you have to put a lot of money into it. And where it was used? Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, they are the ones who benefited. They were the ones who first tried out, and that is why their huge production of rice and wheat is there. Okay, that is why now after Green Revolution, government tried something called Evergreen Revolution or Rainbow Revolution. Some things to introduce the same thing in the eastern side of India. You know, India's map is like this. Everything was done in the western side, but the eastern side still the problem is there. So Evergreen Revolution is there, or there is this Rainbow Revolution. There are many things, okay, which you will study later in current affairs and all, that came into existence to make this reach everywhere. So some of them bought machinery, tractors, threshers, plowing, harvesting faster. Everything was done so that they get better yield. Okay, in Palampur also this was done, and so numbers are given. First 1,300 hectare, then it became 3,200 hectare. So this and all not important, but like that it increased the production. Okay, now land being a natural resource, it is necessary to be careful in its use. Meaning now you are using and doing all this. Will the land sustain? Will it be good by following Green Revolution everywhere? Okay. So scientific report indicate that the modern farming method have overused the natural resource base. Okay, Green Revolution is associated with the loss of soil fertility, due to increased use of chemical fertilizers. Okay, also the groundwater level is going down because you are using lot of water. There's depletion of the water table. Okay, this also is a very interesting topic. Water table, 3-4 questions have come in the last few years by prelims and mains. Both the questions have come. Then environmental resources like soil, fertile and groundwater are built up over years, meaning you finish it off in few weeks or few months, but to again fill it up or come to normal, it will take a lot of years. Okay, that is why sustainability matters. Once destroyed, it is very difficult to restore them. So we must take care of the environment to ensure future development. So this in general, okay, this is not there in NCERT. I am telling you the arguments in favor and against for green revolution. Okay, favor means what? Increase in production, increase in area of cultivation, economic and social balance, high standard of living, more employment, benefit. Okay, but against, if you see, limited area only it became successful, benefit to rich farmers only who could put the expense of all these things. Then unemployment problem is there. Many people did not get the work. Pollution of drinking water, destruction of soil, increase in economic inequality. Okay, because you are bringing all machinery, everything. So obviously unemployment and these problems will come. Okay, economic inequality will come. Rich will get richer and poor will get poorer. That I'll show you next, like how many land rich people have and how many land poor people have. Okay, so now this is about green revolution. Now about the chemical fertilizer in specific. They provide the minerals which dissolve in water and are immediately available to plant. So that is why it is quickly giving good yield. Okay, but these may not be retained in the soil for long. They may escape from the soil and pollute the groundwater, rivers and lakes. Chemical fertilizers can also kill bacteria and other microorganisms in the soil. Okay, because we need lot of natural bacteria, these things and all to actually replenish the soil, but these things are destroying it. So after some time, the soil will become less fertile. And in Punjab, this is the highest. Okay, the consumption of chemical fertilizer is the highest. So continuous use is leading to degradation of the soil health. That is why we have now soil health card concept this government has brought, which is also a very interesting and very good thing. Okay, then there is this neem coated urea. You have to know all these things which happen in current affair. Okay, your NCERT plus previous year question plus test series plus current affair decides whether you clear prelims and mains. Okay, you cannot clear from a single source, but you have to do only minimum sources. That minimum source only I am trying to teach you. Okay, so now Punjab farmers are forced to use more and more chemical fertilizers because soil health is going down. They will again force lot of nitrogen, potassium, all these chemicals, and again you do, it becomes a trap kind of thing. You cannot come out of it. Okay, so cost of cultivation keeps getting higher. Okay, now the land area, if you see, suppose this is the 50% line. If you see the right side, all are like big land. This is like ownership. One owner has this much land, one owner has this much land, that kind of thing, big land. Okay, but here if you see, one owner has only this small piece, another owner has only this small piece. So obviously the returns from that will be different, right? Now again in the graph format they have given, if you see this light pink is the marginal and small farmers who have less than 2 hectares. Okay, so only 44% area, cultivated area, and these are the number of farmers. 85% of the people are small farmers and they have just less than 50% cultivated area. But 15% of the rich farmers, who is just 15%, they have more than 50% of the cultivated area. So that is where economic inequality comes. Okay, these are all NCERT graphs. Okay, now in Palampur, about 1/3 of the 450 families are landless. That is, 150 families, most of them Dalits, have no land for cultivation. So how will they survive in a village? Of the remaining families who own land, 240 families cultivate small plots of land less than 2 hectares in size. So these are either landless or less land. Okay, now cultivation of such plot doesn't bring adequate income to the farmer family. Take an example, there is a farmer, he had 2.25 hectare of land, largely unirrigated land, and with this he has 3 sons to look after also, and they lived very comfortably that time when he was alive, and they feed themselves and little bit extra income from the buffalo which they had, so milking and all they could survive. Okay, but when a father dies, obviously the land will be divided among the sons. So 2.25 hectare will be given to 3 sons, means how much he will get? He will just get 0.75 hectare. So meaning suppose this size land you will break into 3 and give, the son is getting smaller one and he has now his own family to look after. So this small area will not be able to give the returns how his father used to get the return. Okay, you are using irrigation, farming method, everything you tried, but you cannot live off this land. Okay, you will have to look for additional work during other part of the year when there is no rain and all these things. You have to look for other job also. So now suppose this person has a son, his children, he has 3 sons, the son will get only 0.25. Okay, so generation after generation, the land area is going on decreasing, and so this poor gets poorer, rich gets richer. This is how the system is. Okay, so more than half of the area of the village is covered by plots that are quite large. Okay, like I told, this one in size. So there are 60 families of medium and large farmers who cultivate more than 2 hectares of land, and few of them have land extending over 10 hectares also. So there is a class of rich people also. Okay, so now all this we discussed is the first thing, that is land. Okay, land, which is the first factor. Now second is the labor. So labor, if you see agriculture labor, you need a lot of workers to do this farming activity and all, because that much, if you see especially in Punjab and all, most of the people are into farming. So small farmers along with their family cultivate their own field. Thus they provide the labor required for farming themselves. Okay, that is for their own sustenance. Medium and large farmers, they hire farm laborers to work on their field, because they themselves will not work. They will hire these landless people. Okay, so it can be from landless family or from the small plot of land. Now, unlike farmers, farm laborers do not have a right over the crops, meaning they are just working there for daily wages. Okay, and most of them does not pay well also, you know that. And wages, every time it need not be cash, it can be in kind. That is some of the crop you take, like, or you take a little rice for yourself, or you take little this thing. Okay, so they keep cheating, or they don't give the correct one also. Okay, then wages vary also. It's not like uniform from region to region, from crop to crop, from one farm activity to another. Meaning if you're doing only sowing, this much thing will give you. If you're doing sowing and harvesting, this will give you. Okay, and so there is also a wide variation in the duration of employment. Okay, this year, just because a a landlord gave you a work, that doesn't mean next time he will give you. Okay, there is no guarantee, there is no duration, nothing is there. Okay, and also the money. Okay, government guaranteed in 2019 is 300 rupee per day as wage. Okay, but an example of a landless laborer, they are telling the person is getting only 160. Okay, and he is not literate enough, or that time there is no digital India or these things and all. People, they don't know how to fight for it also. Okay, so this is a hypothetical case they are telling. Okay, not like numbers, everything has to be perfect. So like this, labor is a very important thing, but they are suffering also, and there is huge competition also among the farm laborers in Palampur, because they are fighting for the wages. So land is done, labor is done. Now third one is capital. So capital, you need money for everything. Fixed capital and working capital, I told you, you need it. So people don't have money, they go to money lenders. These money lenders also charge high interest, and they become richer and richer. Landlords become richer and richer, but these people get into debt trap. Okay, most small farmers have to borrow money to arrange for the capital. They borrow from large farmers or the village money lenders. The rate of interest is very high. In contrast to small farmers, the medium and large farmers have their own savings, because they will get benefits from the bigger land which they have. So these small farmers end up in debt trap. Debt trap is a very important concept again for UPSC. Prelims, mains, interview, everywhere they'll ask you. Okay, so you have to know, which you will study again in in the upcoming classes. Now, these are all the farming thing. Okay, so this textbook actually has not given anything about the human capital, the fourth factor, which you will study in the next chapter. This chapter is ending with the last slide, which is the non-farm activities which is happening there. So non-farm activity means there can be shop. Okay, there can be dairy business, there can be any wood related wood cutting business. Also in the modern age, there are computer centers also. You know, this Akshaya centers, e-centers, CSC, Common Service Center. There are many things there for filling up your forms or getting the government schemes and all. Such computer centers are also slowly starting in all the villages. Okay, so 25% of the people working in Palampur are engaged in activities other than agriculture. Dairy is one common activity. So you know, this buffaloes are there, for which that kharif crops that is fed to the cattle. Okay, then the milk is sold to that nearby village, or even to the town it is transported. Then there is small scale manufacturing also, meaning less than 50 people are engaged there. Okay, so you should know what is a white collar job, what is a blue collar job. Okay, white collar job means the IT job and all these things. Blue collar job means the manufacturing job. Okay, then there is pink collar, there is golden collar, there is grey collar. There are different collar jobs in economics term, which again I think I have taught you in the Ramesh Singh playlist. Okay, please go and watch it. So unlike bigger factories, here everything is done in a small scale, and now there are a lot of schemes also which is helping these people. And there is this one district, one product, and there are many concepts which is introduced by the present government. So it is slowly flourishing, and this Make in India, Atmanirbhar, everything is helping the Indian products to come into the town and come into the limelight. Okay, and sugarcane crushing is also a very important thing which happens in the villages. So now another thing, as a third one, is shopkeepers, meaning they buy from the city and sell in the village. Okay, then there are computer centers, which can be government also, it can be private also. Okay, these are the basic non-farm activities in Palampur. These are some questions. There are 15 questions in NCERT I just took, which is little bit relevant at least for UPSC. So modern farming method require more inputs, which are manufactured in industry. Okay, so do you agree or elaborate? You have to explain on this. Then, is it important to increase the area under irrigation? Why? Or maybe the schemes about it, UPSC can ask. Then what are the different ways of increasing production on the same piece of land? So here you can write all the methods. Okay, not the basic ones that you see here, but when you learn more and more things, there'll be a like big essay you can write on this. Then how do these medium and large farmers obtain capital for farming? Okay, because small farmers are going to money lenders, but these people, how are they getting? Then what can be done so that more non-farm production activity can be started in villages? Meaning you are shifting from agriculture to non-agriculture thing. How can you do that? This is a very interesting and UPSC type question. Okay, UPSC asks you all these things. So these are the NCERT questions. Now these 3 questions which I asked you, I want you to tell in comment section. As I told, without 100 likes and 100 comments, I may not do the second chapter. Please see to it that you are answering this. Okay. And the test series, as I told, 3rd batch is closing because tomorrow onwards you have to study NCERT. If you have not done, please contact me in WhatsApp immediately. Okay. And please tell me in comment section. Just watch free lectures if you don't want test series, but please respond. Please like, please comment, please view, and wait for my next this thing also. Okay. Video also. So thank you and have a nice day.